In 1914, the world sleepwalked into a disaster that no one could fully understand. A war so vast, so brutal, so mechanical, that it reshaped nations and scarred the soul of humanity itself. This is the true story of World War I, the war that ended an era, destroyed empires, and changed the world forever. At the start of the 20th century, Europe was a powder keg. Empires ruled continents. Kings and Kaisers traded threats behind closed doors, and a web of alliances connected every nation like a chain drying in the sun. One spark, and the whole thing would ignite. Germany was rising fast, building a navy to challenge Britain. Austria-Hungary struggled to control the ethnic groups inside its borders. Russia supported Slavic nations in the Balkans. France wanted revenge for a lost war decades earlier. The great powers believed that if war came, it would be short, sharp, glorious. They were wrong. The spark came on June 28, 1914, in the city of Sarajevo. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, rode through the streets in an open car, and aware that a group of young nationalists were waiting for him. One of them, Gavrilo Princip, a 19-year-old student, stepped forward. To gunshots, to deaths, and within weeks, the world collapsed into war. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia. Russia defended Serbia. Germany backed Austria-Hungary. France backed Russia. Britain defended Belgium. The alliances snapped into place like deadly machinery. In August 1914, millions of soldiers marched through cheering cities, flags waved, bands played, parents kissed their sons goodbye, believing they would be home by Christmas. But when the armies finally met on the fields of France and Belgium, the world learned the horrifying truth. Modern technology had made old tactics suicidal. Machine guns cut down entire battalions in minutes. Artillery shells shredded men from miles away. Barbed wire trapped soldiers like prey. Life in the trenches was hell on earth. Soldiers lived among mud, rats, lice, and corpses. Rain filled the trenches with water up to the knees. Snow froze rifles to soldiers' hands. Every day was the same: waiting, watching, listening for the whistle that meant go over the top. When that whistle blew, soldiers climbed out of the trench into open ground, where machine guns waited. Battles like the Somme and Verdun and Ypres consumed hundreds of thousands of lives. Entire towns worth of young men vanished in days, and yet the lines barely moved. World War I became a laboratory of death. Poison gas, chlorine, then mustard, drifted across battlefields, burning lungs and blinding soldiers. Tanks rolled forward for the first time in history, crushing barbed wire and fear alike. Submarines stalked the oceans, sinking ships without warning. Aircraft dogfights turned the skies into duels of fire and steel. Technology promised quick victory. Instead, it delivered new nightmares. The war spread far beyond Europe. The Ottoman Empire joined Germany and Austria-Hungary. Britain brought troops from India, Africa, Australia, and Canada. Japan seized German colonies in Asia. Famine struck civilians. Armies mutinied. Empires crumbled under the pressure. And in 1917, a new giant entered the fight: the United States. American troops brought fresh strength to the exhausted Allies. At the same time, Russia was collapsing into revolution. Unable to fight under fronts, the new Bolshevik government signed a treaty and left the war. For the first time, Germany had a chance to win. In 1918, Germany launched a massive offensive, their last gamble. For a moment, it worked. Allied lines staggered under the assault. But Germany was starving. Its allies were collapsing, and the arrival of over 1 million American soldiers turned the tide. The Allies counterattacked. German morale broke. Sailors mutinied. Cities erupted in protest. On November 11, 1918, at 11 a.m., the guns finally fell silent. The war was over, but peace was far more complicated. World War I left over 20 million dead Empires vanished: Germany, Russia, Austria-Hungary, the Ottomans, borders redrew, nations rose, revolutions began. And the Treaty of Versailles, meant to secure peace, planted the very seeds that would grow into World War II. World War I ended the old world forever and created the terrifying new one we still live in today.